Out of all the research that I've been able to do on how to lose body fat, I've been able to only figure out three methods that seem to get the most mileage, that's the safest, that is actually the most sustainable. Today, we're going to be talking about one of those. How's it going? My name is Andy J, and I am on a mission to help millennial men feel their best. So today, as I mentioned at the top of this video, is we're going to be looking at some ways to effectively and efficiently lose body fat. Now, today we're going to be talking about one of the most popular approaches that most influencers talk about, and that's simply calorie counting. So, we're going to be talking about the pros and the cons to the standard way of just simply restricting your calories to lose body fat. Let's get into it. Now, many people just jump into a diet thinking it's simply as easy as cutting down a meal or skipping a meal or something like that. And yes, in theory, this is true, but there's a lot more complexities to it. And before we get into the good stuff, I want to hear what diets you've tried before, what diets you've been thinking about trying, because possibly make more videos on this. I can reply in the comments and help you and support you in any way possible. Also, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that bell icon. So when I make more videos like this to help support your weight loss journey, you can be notified and I'll be first to let you know, and then you'll be further on your path to success. Now, a quick overview of what calorie restriction is. Simply put, it is restricting calories or eating less calories than you normally are eating. There is a math equation. You can go on Google and figure this out where you set your basal metabolic rate. Your basal metabolic rate is your baseline amount of calories you're burning throughout the day. You set your activity levels, things like this, and it's a rough calculation to know how many calories. Then, if you want to figure out how many calories you need to be in a calorie deficit, you simply try to eat below that, generally 300 to 500 calories below that. And then over time, you'll begin to slowly drop weight. Now, if you're noticing you're doing this and you're losing about 1 to 2 pounds per week, that's actually a healthy speed of losing body fat or losing total weight if you don't have a way to measure just your body fat. So you obviously want to be not losing muscle. So losing body fat slowly is the most optimal strategy for your health success. Now, some of the negatives, which I don't really like about a standard caloric restriction approach like this, is sometimes you can experience some nutritional deficiencies. Sometimes you can experience muscle loss, like I just mentioned. These are some things you need to be aware of. Another issue that I think is very problematic with this is the issue of metabolic slowdown. So your metabolism, your body's ability to burn these calories actually begin to slow down because your body is always trying to protect itself. And in doing that process, it's going to naturally slow down. So that means you don't need to eat as many calories to be able to put on weight more quickly. This is why sometimes people will get very frustrated doing a calorie deficit type of approach long term, because they start to notice that all these gains or progress that they're making begins to slow down. And then they really start to notice that even if they eat just a little bit more, they gain weight even more easily. And one of the last things I want to bring up, it's very easy to feel extremely hungry during a calorie deficit diet. And that is not very fun. And it's not very easy to stay compliant with it long term, because if you're constantly starving, that's not very good. You could get headaches. You could just have low energy, just not feel very good. You're going to be more apt to want to cheat or maybe start to rationalize in certain situations to eat that bag of potato chips or something like that. It's not the most optimal approach in that way. So this is probably one of the biggest negatives of why I don't like just a generic standard calorie restriction type of approach with dieting. All right, and if you made it this far in the video, I want to reward you by actually giving you some additional bonus tips to be more successful with any type of diet. The first one is being mindful of your stress input. So your environmental stress, your mental stress, your physical stress, meaning like you can even exercise too much and that could negatively affect your progress in a weight loss diet. So these are things to be mindful of. And the main thing is it is subjective. You want to just be tuning into your body and figuring out what sort of feedback you're getting. And if you're noticing that you're feeling a little sluggish, you're low energy, that doesn't mean to necessarily just caffeine up a little bit more and push through. You may actually need to take a day of rest to recover, to lower your stress burden, and then you will get actually better results long term by doing something like that. Another big thing and a big approach to how I coach my clients is actually mineralizing yourself, making sure you're getting enough minerals. One of the biggest ones is magnesium. Getting a magnesium glycinate is a very, very good supplement. It's one of the better types. You want to avoid some types of magnesium like oxalate or citrate. Those will actually just cause diarrhea and they don't really have any positive effect as far as actually upping your magnesium levels. So, magnesium glycinate is a really good version. I'll put a link in the description for my favorite version for you to check that out. But getting enough magnesium is the most important mineral in our body. It helps make energy in our body. It helps keep our metabolism working properly. It's used in so many different enzymatic processes in our body. So I'm going to do other videos on magnesium, but the short end of it is that we're chronically deficient in magnesium. No one has enough magnesium. It's just because of the failures of our food supplies and just general stress levels of our body. So most of us, if not all of us, are deficient in magnesium. So getting a little bit of magnesium and boosting that up will have significant benefits also on your dietary success. And then the last piece that I always like to bring up is sleep. I know everyone talks about it because it's a very serious thing, and just making sure you're getting enough sleep every single night. 7 to 8 hours is really good, but it's really about the quality of the sleep. Some people can actually get very good quality sleep, only get about 6 hours. So really making sure when you wake up, it's easy for you to get out of bed. If you feel like you're having to drag yourself out of bed every single day, you're probably not getting as much quality sleep. And so that's another thing to look into, and that will actually slow down your progress in being successful in any type of diet for that matter. So thanks so much for sticking to the end. And if you found this interesting, I would also recommend checking out some videos. Maybe it's over here or over here, where we're talking about even other dietary approaches that you'll probably find really interesting. So check that out right now. Also, please let me know if you have any questions on anything. Drop some comments. I always will respond. And on top of that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check that bell icon so you'll be notified when I come out with my next video, because I'll be soon coming out with another video talking about my other type of diet that I really like, that I like actually way more than this particular dietary approach. So look out for that. And I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will talk to you soon.